Good morning, I'm Jim Cooper, Editor-in-Chief at Digiday, and we're here at the Digiday video studio at the Blockboard Villa. Unfortunately, the rain has forced us inside, but that's okay, because that didn't stop Laurie who's the Chief Brand Officer at e.l.f. Beauty, making the trip up to see us this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm honored to be here, thank you.
So you guys won a bronze.
Yes, we did. We won a bronze as of yesterday. I'm so excited.
So what was the category and what was the work?
Yeah, we won Social Influencer for humor, for best use of humor. And what it was celebrating was actually our work with Liquid Death. We collaborated with them and we partnered together to really disrupt, I would say. We took the traditional Get Ready With Me, which is usually so perfect, perfect lighting, and we actually just flipped it on its head. We did a complete piece and a 5-piece kit that we called Liquid Death, and we said, murder your thirst together. And it actually celebrated, instead of the perfect look, it celebrated corpse paint.
Nice.
So we had women and influencers and creators walking around with deadpan of this goth look, if you will. And the goth community came back and said, I feel so seen. But the funny thing was about it was that we figured, water, inarguably, Liquid Death is actually one of the fastest growing beverage companies and I would say most disruptive today. And we partnered with them and we said, water is actually a category that hasn't been disrupted as much, right? And we clearly see Liquid Death doing that. e.l.f. is also a brand that disrupts. And we also think that sometimes beauty can be very boring. And so we came together to really say, how can we shake things up? And we dared each other to go into a space that neither of us would really saw quite yet, but once you got the creative meeting of the minds, that's where it took us.
That's great. Cannes always is a festival of creativity, but there's a lot of technology that's now involved with the process of brand storytelling. How are you leaning into technology as a storytelling tool for the brand?
Absolutely. Technology plays such a critical role for us, right? Like not only in setting the platform for us, but also when you look at e.l.f. and what we have been doing, we've actually built a really loyal base of followers. We have Beauty Squad, for example, that is available because we've actually built an app for our e.l.f. consumers to find a way in our community to engage with us much more differently than just a D2C platform. In fact, we're actually only one of 5 brands right now that actually have a D2C brand, direct to consumer so they can actually assess our. We've gone farther to build an app platform today that has nearly a 5-star rating and actually has a loyal following of 5 million. Every single day we wake up to 5 million loyalists that come into the brand, engage with us. And one of the most beautiful things that I find about our experience is we really think about the way the consumer and our community is shopping. It's no longer just one single platform. Obviously, we give them a lot of opportunities, and we are a retail brand as much as we are an e-com brand. And wherever they shop, be it Ulta, Walmart, Target, they're actually able to scan their receipts and earn points for them. So you actually earn loyalty points for anywhere that you shop. It's actually been a really great benefit as being a loyalist.
I'd be really interested to get your opinion about how your definition of partnership is changing in service of your brand storytelling.
Yeah, e.l.f. has always been a brand that has been a bold disruptor of a kind heart. And one of the big ways that we force multiply is actually just increasing our orbit. So, years ago when we first did our collaboration, the first one we did was with Chipotle. No one saw that one coming, but it actually was insight and community led. Someone walked down a Chipotle aisle and saw the palette of all the toppings and said, boy, someone should make an eyeshadow palette out of this. And e.l.f. came to the order, right? Yeah. e.l.f. answered that call. And we continued building on that one. That was actually a collaboration at $4 billion. And we said, what we can do next year? And we built on that with Dunkin' Donuts. And, with that one, we actually changed our entire logo and we started playing. So with each collaboration, we've actually continued to push the elasticity of what e.l.f. can do and how far we can actually go with our brand. We then continued with American Eagle. That one topped that one. We didn't think it was possible. 7 billion impressions it earned. And then we went Liquid Death with 11 billion impressions. And so each collaboration, I would say, and each way we look at distinct partnerships is, we always started on a principle of 3 things. Let's make it social, because that's where our community is. Let's make it scarce, so make it quick, own the internet for a day. And let's also make sure we make it surprising, the shock value, and it's something our community really leans into. I would say that has stayed true through all of our collaboration and our work, including with Liquid Death. I think what's changed is that we know the opportunities that we've been looking for is finding brands that actually are like-minded like us as we continue to grow in our journey. Are you disruptive? What do your values say about you? What is your brand about? and what are those principles that you live by, and how can we come together to find the synergy between our brands and the magic and the intersection?
Great. So this has definitely been the Cannes Lions of AI. How are you at Elf Beauty thinking about artificial intelligence and how it might work in the future for your branding?
Yeah. Here's my feeling on AI. I think that, there's a lot of people who are resistors. I think it's something that you just either have to get behind or you're going to get left behind. And it really evolves to the fact that, Elf, we have a statement, we say evolve or die. The brand has never stayed the same. The brand has never
It's not
stayed.
very subtle.
It's we like to make bold statements.
Right.
But, when I think about AI, I think that there's a lot that we as marketers and creators have an ability to adapt into. How do you leverage this tool to maximize your business? Whether it's actually using it internally, we've actually built it in to help us with, we have an Elf concierge, so to speak, that helps us with anything that you're looking for. Hey, I'm looking to create an IT ticket, or hey, I'm onboarding a team and I need this. And being predictive in terms of the needs also feeds back content to us as a leadership team to say, what are our employees actually asking for? The other thing is just how do we create content that's still all really authentic? I think that's a field that we're still trying to navigate, especially as a beauty brand, because it's so important for our community to still see it against skin.
Right.
And also be able to see real-time skin effects, right? A before and after is credibility that our community really relies on.
What's, as a brand steward for Elf Beauty, it's really important to think about all this, but also think about how you spend your money and where you spend your money. There's a lot of conversation at this conference about, ad verification and, fraud and MFAs. How are you starting to navigate this? Because we're getting a sense at Digiday, at least, that people are starting to get a little fed up with some of the shenanigans that are going on.
Shenanigans in the sense of?
Having your dollars really hit the target that you're aiming for and not being diverted into unnecessary cul-de-sacs, to be polite.
Okay. Well, I think one thing at Elf is that we actually realize we have an incredible return. And I think that's why we've actually been able to funnel a lot of money into our, more marketing and more digital investments. And that's because we've actually seen a really healthy ROI. Our ROI right now on our dollar is $4.
Wow. Okay.
So, and it's unprecedented. I've never seen it before anywhere in my career. So I think when you have a marketing engine that is working and being productive, we've been very strategic about where we actually put our money. Do more of what works, do less of what doesn't work.
Great.
That's just an easy principle to go by.
So when you think about going home to reality and to your people who aren't here, what inspiration or message are you going to take back that you think will help guide you in the coming year?
There are so many takeaways from Cannes this year. I think what's so beautiful about Cannes is you see the evolution of it. This evolution of bringing on more creativity and thinking about different areas of pharma. You've seen that, right? Like really strategic out of home. And I think one of the things that I've really taken away is how purpose still has a real place here. And your intentionality in the work that you create around, you can create really funny work like what we did with Liquid Death, right? And there is a bigger message there, right? Which is why we chose to partner with Liquid Death, is because they're like-minded. They are trying to reduce the amount of plastic in water usage. And I think that when you look at what you can do as a brand, it's, you have to be effective first and foremost, have a really important message to put out there. But I think at the end of it, you have to show your purpose and intentionality. And that's definitely one of my big takeaways that I'm going to be bringing back to my team.
That's great. Okay, Laurie Lamb is Chief Brand Officer at Elf Beauty. Laurie, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Jim.